Hey everyone, so welcome to this module. Now in this module we are going to cover the loops, and that's something if you go to Google and write loops in Python, just to show you a little demonstration that what the loop is. So basically you find these kinds of flowcharts that are the flowcharts in programming used to structure the program, and here this one seems to be a little good. So here is a simple flowchart for a loop. And what actually loop is? It's something like you begin with any point. You go to the first value and then the condition. If the condition is true, then you again go to the condition to perform the task by an incremented value. Or we can say that something like for if you are doing. So first of all, I have made the loop.py file for this module. So just assume you have to make a database system in which you need to enter the student name in your college. So you will take the name of every student as an input, and here people will write their name, whatever their name was, and you have to do the same thing like if you have 1,000 students, then for thousands of time, and that something is not so good to do. So that's where loops came in play, and nearly in 99% of the programs, not 99, just take 100 that are not just basic programs like print hello etc., we require the working with loops, because without loops program is something just imaginable. So what they do, they will convert any number of lines that are repeated again and again. Like here I have given you an example of taking the input of student's name. So instead of writing this one thousands of times, we just use loop, and that loop make this thing that is in 1,000 times, or we can say that in lakhs or whatever times you would need that thing in just few lines of a code. So that's what actually loop is. And in this module we are going to cover the loops in Python. That are basically two, that is 4, and here when you press enter in Atom it shows the syntax for the loop. Now we did not require that one. Now another one is while loop. So these two are the loops in Python. Generally we have a third one also, do while, but that's not included in Python. So our main focus is these two loops. After that we have some statements like break and continue that we are going to study here, and an important function related to loops, that is range function. So these are some of the main things that we are going to learn here in this module. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. One more thing, please focus in this module because this is one that is again important one. Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to cover the for loop. That is one of the most important thing in Python programming and is used everywhere. So maybe you did not understand what a loop is, but after this video you will understand this one completely. So like if I have a list, just imagine that I have list, or we can say that this is the input by 10 students and they are their names 1 2 3. So what we will do is something like we can print all these, like print x of 0. Then we can do same thing, command C. You can just copy this one and paste this again and again to make your work little faster, and something like this one for all the values. Here 2 3 4 and go on with this one, just enough. And when you run this one, here we have the Python 3, sorry, not the Python 3, Python 3 and loop.py, you will get all these things. But here a number of lines is considered, and this one also takes time. Now in these kinds of situations loops came in play. That is something like you can use the loop to print all these value by just using 2-3 lines of code. We begin with the keyword for, that denotes the for loop, and then we can take any particular example, like generally we assume item, that denotes the items in that particular list. Then item, then we use an operator known as in, if you remember this one, in and not in, we have done before. In, and then the list we are using, like we are using X here, so in X, then we use these dots, and if these dots come, then you remember we require a tab indentation. And then in that one, now this is the complete syntax for the loop, and after that you can write the code related to that loop. Like for this one we can write print item. You save this one, and when you run this one, you will get all the item printed in just a line, 2 line. Here this one is hiding this one. You can also hide your code if you do not want to make the code lengthy. And this is the for loop. You can also use anything here you want to, like if I can use a, just print a, then command S, and when you try to run this one, you will get again the same result. And when you do something like this one here, a plus 10, and when you try to run this one, you will get the proper output. That's because you can do anything with this item. This item is generally the values in this list, or where whatever the thing or data you are using. So this is all about the loops. You can also print things like, here I have red strings, blue, green, and some more like yellow, or the Power Rangers. Then we have the black and white or pink, whatever you want to take. But this did not work here. Now if you save this one and try to run that one, you will get all the values printed. So you can perform any kind of code, I mean any kind, and any number of time you want to, by using the loops. In other programming languages, generally loop is something like we take for, then the parentheses, and in that we begin with the initial condition. Like here we did not have an initial condition, we just begin with item in X, so it will go one by one. But in C we take an initial value, like X is equal to from 0, then we take the condition X until less than the items in this list, like 10. Then we take the value of X incremented, and then we can write the code whatever we want in that particular loop. But in Python we have a simple syntax for loops, and that is very useful than the others. So that's what all about the introduction to loops and the for loop. We will consider more things about this one later in this video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hey everyone, so now you are familiar with the loops. So let's make this one a little more complex. Like here I am talking about the user's input, that there are 1000 students, just assume. So you want to add the name of every student in your database. That how you can do that. We have studied something like this for I in X, print that, whatever the thing is, like print I. So how you can make this one as to take the input from user. So you can do this thing in a number of ways. I'm going for a basic one so that you will understand better. Just assume I have this list X is equal to 1. Let's begin with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Here we have the 10 items. So for these items, like you can add up to thousands, lakhs, whatever number you want to, and there are different ways of doing that also. Now for I in X, what will I do? I will take a user input, that is input from the user, like enter your name, That's it. And now how can I make this one in any database so that I can store this thing? Now you can make different list, but here I have this one, so I will use this one because nothing happens. Then what I will do x of I, that on the particular index x of I becomes this thing, and this will go one by one and the store value continuously, first at the position 0, then 1, then 2, then up to 9. And to check that, we then print x also. So here we have print x, command s, and when you run this one, here I have loop.py. Let we add something like a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h, I, j. So here we have entered 10 names, and here you will get all the names in a list, that is this x list also. And now this x list also become this one, the previous data is lost and new data is stored in the list. So that's how you can take the inputs from the user and make them work here, and you can then perform any logic on that one. Like you can also do something like x dot upper and make the all the letters working. Now guess, is this thing going to work? And I believe maybe not, because we have to use index also there. So this is a little task for you. What you have to do, you have to make something like print all the elements in this list in uppercase letters, and you can add any name, then make the title capital. So that's what about the user input and the loops, that how we can use these things together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, so now we have learned about the for loop, that is this thing here. Now we have second loop, that is known as while loop. So what actually is while loop? The working of both the loops is completely same. They are going to produce the same output that we required, but by using different methods. So just like in this one, for I in x, we use something like, we will take an initial value for while loop, and that's something I is equal to, that we have 0. That's what also in other programming language, like I have told you, we have something like, this is the thing that why I have told you that thing, x is equal to 0, I equal to 0, and we take something like I less than 6, then increment that value. What happened in case of while loop? In while, we have just I is equal to 0 before the loop, then we have our while loop, and in while loop we have our condition like I less than something like 6, and then in the loop we will provide the increment. It means that we just split the things. So that's what also we're gonna do here. In case of Python, the syntax for loop is also simple, and for while loop it's simpler than that one, but it's something like C. Here we have the initial condition, now we have the condition, that is the main condition for the while loop, that make the loop work again and again. That is something like I have I less than 6, just like this thing. And then what will I do? Again this indentation, I will print that thing, like remove this one and just print I. After that I, if I did not do anything, it will continue to run again and again, and your program never break. Like if I try to run this thing, you see this one is going again and again, and your program is not stopping. Here in this case the terminal will crash, so this will now not work if I try to press anything, because this 0 is printing again and again, and the function is in continued progress. Also in this case your CPU will get a lot of load if you check the load also, and you can make the other CPU and PC get break by this way. I have made my school and college PCs to break Now the thing here is that what to do to stop that thing. So for that you need to increment this thing so that it will not break the terminal. That is we going to do is something like we will increment this I value, that is the I here we are using. We just increase this value by this increment operator 1 every time, so that up to reaching that condition it goes to work and then it will stop working. And in that case it will do something like 0 1 2 3 4 5. You can also increase this one like 60. Here I have up to 60 now, and is less than 60, so I have 59. You can also increment this one by 2, then you will get something like a gap of 2. If you do something like 10, increment the value by 10, then you will get only this value, because after 50 and then you have 60 which is not less than 60, so you will get 0 10 20 30 60. If you do this one like 30, then you will get 0 and 30. That's what the while loops are. So these are a little more simpler to use than the for loops. We do not require to use any in else etc. You can make this loop to work in any way, just like for or in different ways, that depends on you, but prefer the simple ways to work on the loops so that your program will be more efficient. So that's what all about the while loops. Thanks for watching, and don't try that thing. It's just a joke if you are going to do that thing, that make this one a infinite loop, and it will break your terminal, because maybe your atom will stop working after doing that thing. The terminal will get completely crash. So don't do that thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to cover a little concept, that is looping through a string. Till now we have looped through numbers and through list. What if you want to loop through any particular string, something like x is equal to like blueberry, and you want to print the every element that is in this blueberry. So what you do is something like for I, similar to the numbers, in x print I. When you save this one and run that, you will get all the words separately printed here. Now why separate video for this one? Because a little concept in this, like you can use this blueberry directly in the syntax with this loop, that is just command x this one and replace this x here. If you do something like this thing and save this one and try to run this one, you will again get the same result, that is blueberry here. That's because in the case of x, while we are using list, we are using that particular list values here, but in case of this string available here, we have used the string directly in the syntax. So that's how you can print the elements in a string. And that's just about the video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.